Hello guys, welcome back to the channel Mallu Radiographer. So my name is Suchesh
I'm Vishal.
and we'll be telling about some of the interview tips. Actually, one of our viewer has asked us about he has been attending a couple of interviews and still now he haven't sorted out any jobs. So we'll be giving you some of the tips about interviews.
So the first thing starts with the way how you fill the form. So when you see a form online, you have to go through it. There will be a job description in it and a person specification. You have to go through both of them and in detail and see what they're asking for. You have to be very careful what you're writing in the forms. Please do not copy and paste all of your information, all the forms exactly
Yeah.
the same. You have to be very specific about the job.
Yeah, what everyone usually do is even in the resume, we'll be copying some of the seniors' resume and we'll be just editing that and we'll be forwarding the same resume to all the jobs which you're applying. So try to read the job description which you're applying for and just edit all the information. If you're applying for a CT-based job or MR-based job, just update your CV accordingly so that you can put your CT skills more into the resume, or if you're applying for an MR job, put your MR skills more into the resume so that they'll be the manager or whoever is sorting out the resume can easily catch up your resume.
So that's how it works over here. Like for example, if you are applying for a job which is for CT scan, the job title is a CT band 6 radiographer.
Yeah.
And when you go to the job advert, it says, oh, we have 2 mammographies, we have 100 portable X-ray, this.
So
And
actually,
they mix everything up, and then the candidate mix everything up in the application as well. But don't be bluffed with that. It's actually information given to you just to impress you guys, like what the hospital is about and what the radiology department is inside.
So actually, before applying, just go through the job description. So
very well.
if it's a CT job, just try to include all your CT skills, mainly focusing on your CT skills, not bluffing all around with all the department equipments or modality which you have worked with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like for example, you would have worked in interventions, but try to keep your interventions for the side.
Yeah.
If it's an MRI job, just keep focus on the MRI.
Or if it's a CT job, focus on the skills which you have in CTs.
CTs,
Yeah.
So coming to the next point, when you get the job application and when you start preparing for a job interview, so in that we would suggest it's the second most important point before you get being selected. So just have a look on the what your application, what you have filled in.
Yeah.
Okay, and make sure you stick to those words which you have actually filled in.
Yeah.
And then you go through the hospital website, the trust website, have a look what they are asking for, what the job advert was about, and go to their values. Every hospital over here have their own values.
Yeah.
And you should know about the trust. You should know about their values and the way they work, and get all the information from their website, like what scanners they have, what machinery they have, what's the name of the interviewer, so
Basically, it will be you need to study before the interview. You need to study about the hospital which you are going to attend the interview for, and you should be knowing the trust values and all the hospital basic rules and all. So they'll be asking those questions in the interviews rather than just the theory question which you'll be asking back home. Yeah.
So back home the questions are gonna be a bit different. Back home the questions will be a lot more physical,
theoretical questions will be
physics and all that. Over here the questions are gonna be on situation basis. Like for example, what's gonna happen in case of a fire? What will you do if a patient come and
So it'll be if it's a for plain radiography or X-ray, it'll be what if the patient comes in if a trauma patient comes, what you will be doing?
What will you do?
Yeah, how you will be taking the X-ray for a trauma patient. So you should be explaining how you will be taking rather than explaining the physics or the theory behind the X-ray.
So no one is gonna ask you what the physics is behind a CT scan or MRI scan. No, they will never ask you that. But they are gonna ask you what will you do if a stroke patient come and an ICU patient come. Whom will you prefer? This is a very favorite question of theirs. And they usually ask this in an X-ray, people in X-ray, and they ask if you got 2 X-ray forms, one is from an ICU patient, one is from the theater, where will you go first? And these are quite tricky questions. In CT as well, they are going to ask you, there's an ICU patient, there's a stroke patient.
Which you will be prioritizing for the first scan.
So you have to act smartly, you have to think yourself, what will you actually do in a situation?
Yeah.
And their questions are going to be like do you do a QA in the early mornings? And you usually do QAs in morning.
Yeah. So it'll be most of the questions will be basic stuff, but you'll not be actually looking into those questions. Yeah.
So just imagine yourself into that situation and think what will you actually do in presence, and just answer that, and it's actually it's going to be correct. Like for example, one of the question was you did a QA and you see an artifact. What are you going to do? So most of the people are going to say, oh yeah, I'll go and tell your grandson, no, there's an artifact. That is a correct answer, but what will you actually do? You'll repeat the QA. You'll see like there might be a
error in the positioning or something like that.
Yeah. Or something. That's the actual thing. You will repeat the scan. Isn't it? So just say something which you will actually do in that presence.
Yeah.
And it's because if you have experience, there's no way someone can stop you in being clear and getting the interview correct.
So it's basically like they want to question you and
get out of whether you have actually done the scans or not.
Whether you have the perfect experience for the post which you are applying for.
Exactly.
So
and if you have a presence of mind, if you can handle the pressure. Like for example, they might ask you, a patient came to you and complained that he has bruises over his arm, he is not being treated well in his care home. What will you do? So in that case, you'll say, you'll get to the safeguarding team in the hospital, and call them and go through all the trust protocols.
So it's basically like the questions which you'll be asking for the interviews will be more than it'll be more work related question than theoretical.
There will be rarely any theoretical question. I don't think there's going to be any
so as of radiographers, if they are asking any theoretical question, it might be mostly in MRI scans or CT scans. There are there's the only place where you can more theoretical questions. Just in X-ray everywhere
even in the theoretical question, I don't think there are many.
No, they'll not be asking that much.
Hardly most of the time it's going to be a lot more practical one. What are you going to? They might ask you the flow rates. Actually, all their purpose is to make sure that you actually do have experience.
They want to check whether you have the experience which you have explained in the CV or which you have given the work experience before. So they'll be checking you that.
They're going to test the promises you made in the applications.
So if you're bluffing something, they'll be catching it through the interview which you're doing it.
Exactly. So the next thing coming is the language. So most of the people behind over there is they'll be thinking oh, my English is not good. That your English is not good. We know your English is not good. Even ours weren't good when we were back home. It's and even the Britishers know that your English is not good, and they don't actually mind it. They know it's not your first language, and it's absolutely fine. If your English is understandable, if the other person can understand you, and you can speak of what the patient can understand, and you can hear it well, it's absolutely fine. You don't.
I think the main problem we'll be facing is the accent difference mainly. So if you're applying for a job in North or anywhere, the accent will be entirely different compared to
So the accent which you hear in BBC and what you hear
in Hollywood movies,
that accent is a lot in the London and below London. If you are moving to the north, the accent is going to be very tough.
So for the first few months, even though if you're good in English back home, so you'll be facing some difficulty after coming over here if you're in the north section.
So for example, even though if you got a good grades in your RS, I got a good grade. I got 8.5 in listening. Still, I struggled a lot when I first came in here, of what they're saying, because of the slang, because of the style which they say.
The accent
for example, I can
different.
give a good example. For example, when you speak Hindi, the Hindi which is spoken in Delhi is a lot different with the Hindi which is spoken in Bihar or in Haryana or in Maharashtra. It's a lot different. So that's exactly the same how it works. So accent over here is a lot different with the accent in either in America or in England or in
South London. It will be entirely different.
In Wales, it's all different. And if you go in Scotland, it's completely different.
So don't worry about your language. Try to be confident when you're attending an interview, and try to provide the work related type of questions rather than theoretical questions. So they'll be expecting that type of answers from you rather than the theoretical answers.
So let's summarize it up. So you don't have to worry about your
language
Your
or
language
anything.
is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. If you can speak, which is understandable, it is absolutely fine. Just take your time. You don't have to just please don't do the and ma and all those stuff.
Yeah, just be confident.
Just be confident. Take your time. Like if you say something in like means 2 seconds, just take 3 seconds. No, not a problem.
Yeah. So
Just
if you're
say
not, even
correctly.
if they ask one question, if you're not like if you do not understand the question, means just be bold to ask the question again. Can you repeat that? Rather than bluffing some other mistakes. Yeah.
And just ask them, and they are actually going to be very friendly with you.
Yeah.
They're very friendly people. You won't feel as if it's an interview, but in that friendly conversation, please make sure you don't get carried away with them.
Yeah.
And just
Stick on to
the point that we are here for interview, and we have to act smartly.
Yeah.
You have to represent yourself as a professional
Yeah.
radiographer.
That's it, guys. So I think like this information will be useful for some of you guys who is trying to apply for the job in UK or will be registering with HCPC later on. So if you like the video,
Yeah, please
give us
share,
a thumb.
comment, and
Yeah.
subscribe. Yeah. Take
That's
care.
it, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.